You're listening to the Talking 20 podcast. This podcast is for you if you're in your 20s and you're thinking, what the hell am I doing? We've all been there and we want to talk about it. We're your hosts, Bridget O'Rourke and Mary-Margaret Courtney, and we sit down with fellow millennials to chat about their journey and hear what they've learned along the way. Let's get started. Welcome back to another episode of the Talking 20 podcast. This is a pre-release chat episode. You know the drill by now. Mary and I just chat about the upcoming episodes and what's going on in our lives. So, Mare, what's coming up next week?
We have PJC. I was so nervous I was going to get that wrong. Patrick James Clark.
Yes, we're super excited. We're really excited about this one. Patrick has, emerged from COVID with all of the things going for him. So we knew that we had to nail him down.
Yeah, we had to nail him
down. But very humble.
So humble, and I love the work he's doing internally to make sense of his life and why he is doing well and what he's going to do with it. And I've re-listening to it. I was like, this guy is so impressive and not aware. I think he's I kind of know, but I won't let myself believe it.
Yeah, and he should, but also it gives him that humility for when he's doing interviews. Because at first we had listened to a couple interviews that he was in, and we were like, all right, we're going to need to break him down. Because in interviews, when you're doing press interviews, you're talking yourself up. You're supposed to. It's what you're supposed to do. So we were like, all right, we got to get down to the bottom of him. But he didn't, he opened up right away.
Immediately, yeah. Anything we talked about, we scratched the surface. He's like, well, I'll just bring that 3 layers deeper. As soon as we started talking, we're like, we didn't even have to ask some of our questions. Because he's like, well, I've been really doing some introspective work. And then, great conversation. Also, he has such a soothing voice to listen to.
He does. Honestly, it was so whole next to your voice and my voice. I was like, is it his microphone or is it his voice?
I think it's both.
He needs to do
voiceover.
Voiceovers, audiobook.
Yeah, 100%. The whole time I was just like, I don't even know if I'm listening to what he's saying. It's just so beautiful.
It's so crisp and whole and deep. I was like, you've got a good voice, Patrick Clark.
Yeah, he does.
Good for you for being a musician.
Yeah, great speaking voice, great singing voice, which he doesn't really believe is his best trait, but I don't know, it's pretty good.
Which we get into in the episode. He talks about how he, used to not be a good singer and he would go to talent shows and he's seen videos of him at talent shows when he was younger and he's like, oof.
Yeah.
I can't believe I did that.
Yeah. And even when you're like, no, you were good. He's like, respectfully, it was horrible.
He was like,
trust me.
Honestly, I listened to it last week and I would be surprised if anybody thought it was good.
Yeah, exactly. Is what he said. Yeah. So funny.
He's done so well, though. And actually, I haven't even told him that his episode is the one that's coming out next week. So surprise, Patrick! Yours is coming out next week. And this was actually not planned this way, but just so happened this way that Patrick is actually a finalist on The Shot Canada, which is kind of if you guys have seen the launch or heard of the launch, it seems similar to that, where it's it's a music competition and they search for the best artists and musicians in Canada and they compete for a publishing deal to get signed by a label, chance to tour the world, and a premiere performance at Canadian Music Week.
Yeah, the exposure seems super cool.
All the things.
Fun connection. It's Deggy Entertainment is part of that partnership, so the winner will be affiliated with them, and we will be in the new year putting out an interview with someone who works at Deggy Entertainment.
Will we?
We will be.
You'll have to tell me after.
No, well, I won't say the name because we'll put it out when we put it out. But yeah, no, he's been planned. He's a new dad, so he's been planned to do the interview since the beginning because he's also a podcaster. I've talked to you about him a bunch of times. But anyway, I had to cancel. No idea. Yeah, I had to cancel him a few times because between our schedules and his daddy life, it just wasn't working. But he's he loves our podcast. He's been listening and he wants to talk nerd shop about podcasts. But yeah, when I watched this Patrick Clark's last final, I don't know, what would you call it, finalist episode? Or
the semi-final episode for the shot.
So cool how they're doing it virtually. Very like Ryan Seacrusty, get people on their toes and that, I want to say intimidation. That's not the word I'm looking for. What's the word? Anticipation. Yeah, I don't know where intimidation came from.
Intimidation. They're really intimidating.
They're
on this show.
No, the anticipation of like, oh, what? Like I had it playing in the background and then I kept wanting to watch because I was like, wait, what's happening? It was super interesting to watch like how they perform, and then they give them their feedback, and then they do this like cool thing at the end of the judges talk about the artist, but you don't know who they're talking about. So you're not sure who they're going to pick and who they're not. And then, they kind of talk through
why they're picking the person that they're going to pick, but they don't say who it is. And you're like, is that one Patrick? Is that one Patrick?
Yeah.
Which one are you talking about?
When they were talking about charisma, I was like, it's got to be him. It's got to be him. He's Patrick Charisma Clark.
It's for sure him. We talk a lot in the episode about Patrick's like on stage in between song banter and how he believes that's his best quality. And Mary and I actually saw him. This was completely unrelated to the podcast, but our friend Jordan, who we had on the podcast, he was the talking
home ownership.
What is episode?
Something.
Yes, home ownership. He was the one talking about home ownership.
He's the one who bought a house with a friend.
Yes. So he was playing a gig in London, Ontario, and it just so happened that Patrick was like the host of this little coffee shop performance, and so we got to see a lot of his charisma a couple of years ago. Same time that Mary's car got broken into. Same night.
Time. We're like, I want to be mad at the universe because we stayed at an Airbnb in a relatively safe area in London.
I didn't realize that was an Airbnb.
It never ends. Now,
if you listened to our pre-release chat last week, you'll understand our what we have against Airbnb right now.
Yes. And no one told us to shut up. They were actually quite nice. But the next day they did call us to say, hey, if by chance one of you has a burnt purple RAV4 sitting on the outside of the house, it's broken into, which is my car. And we went to the car, and like clearly the people that broke in had one of those little machines that like it touches the window and it shatters the whole thing, because car windows are really hard to break into, and it's pretty obvious when it's not like a clean shot, but the whole window was completely shattered everywhere. And it was my stupid fault. I had like a brand new set of Lululemon clothes in a nice pretty box sitting on the front seat, so it was like bait to anyone walking by. And then I needed to get home from London, Ontario, which is what, like 2 hours away?
Yeah, roughly 2.5 maybe. Yeah,
so far. So Jordan and Cooper and you and I created some sort of way to try and like clean up the mess and clean up the window, and it was like freezing. It was like the beginning of January. I had my dog with me, and we drove the whole way home with the window open, but I couldn't let the dog out.
This was the start of January 2020.
Oh my god!
Right before COVID hit, also.
That's not even the worst thing that happened that year. Wow, that's true. That was our last outing.
Or is it? Yeah,
crazy. Yeah, it was pretty brutal. But seeing Patrick was the highlight of that night for sure.
Yes, it was definitely the highlight of the night. It was great. And I found out that Patrick and Mary know each other previously. So I know Patrick from when I was a little kid. He was best friends with my friend who lived across the street, Matthew Leach. I hope he's okay with me saying his name. I don't know why he wouldn't be, but he was best friends with him. So I met Patrick that way, and I'm pretty sure we went to the same public school. But honestly, I said that in the interview, and I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, did we? I don't know. Anyway,
I feel like he would have corrected you. He would have corrected you if you didn't.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But like, why wouldn't I remember us going to the same public school? Anyway.
And then I met him in later years.
Yeah, but guess how Mary knows him?
Coca!
But not actually
Coca. I was corrected in the interview. But I think we need like a little song that comes in every time I know someone. Or I'm just going to stop.
That would be hilarious.
I'm just going to stop saying I know
we need
them
a
from
jingle.
Coca. Okay.
perhaps Patrick James Clark could make us a Coca jingle.
A Coca jingle. Oh my god, that's amazing. And then we'll see jingle. If...
And Mary, how do you know them? Coca. Yeah, we definitely have to get that.
I say we take that audio, send it to him, and then have him put the music under what we just did.
Can you drop a beat? Can you drop a beat to this, please?
Yeah. He's gonna be like, no, I have a reputation of Coca. Anyway, yeah, so Patrick is a finalist. So we just found out he's the top 4, and the next round is it. It's the finals.
And it's tonight.
It's tonight.
Which is completely a coincidence that our episode with him was coming out next week.
Just shows you this podcast was meant to be.
It was. And we were actually putting it out next week because we would have put it out on September 30th, but we have How to Take Progressive Action Towards Reconciliation, which came out on September 30th. But the reason we would have put it out then is because Patrick's actually also releasing a novel, and he released that on September 30th. So we decided to make that the next, we were going to release this episode, the next one after How to Take Progressive Action Towards Reconciliation, to kind of throw back to his novel. And then it just so happened that he's also a finalist on the shot today.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And his when we talked to him, his book wasn't available, but it's now available, right?
Yes, it is. It's you have to listen to the episode next week to find out more about that. But
fantastic.
Yeah, stuff. It's super exciting for him. He's like we said at the beginning of this episode, he's got it all going right now.
Yeah, but I think he's definitely someone.
That being said,
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, but that being said, online, he looks like he's got it all going for him, but he does have his shit, and he tells you about it on the episode, because we were like, we need to know,
we called him out.
You couldn't have written a novel, become a finalist, done this, all during COVID, and then it all just comes out in a pretty little bow at the end of COVID. How did you do that? And he talks about it. He talks about the reality behind it. So
yeah, I think the moral of his story is definitely if you really listen, you can find the peaks and the valleys of his COVID journey before and after and everything that's going on. He puts a positive spin on everything. Everything that could have been shitty, he's yeah, but I'm gonna choose to look at it in this light or this regard. A big one being it's such a huge conversation right now, which we won't get into, but about how no one wants to work, or a lot of people are on CERB still, and they're making more money than they would go working minimum wage. And Patrick was someone who, he's an artist. He was told by the government, you cannot go back to work. And he took that money and he worked. And he took that opportunity to go, what do I do when we're out of this? Whether it's 2 months from now, 2 weeks from now, 2 years from now. And I think he's just a great person for us to look at as he has the humility, he has his shit, but he takes advantage of his opportunities, and he doesn't miss a beat. No pun intended. Kind of intended.
Wow, love it.
Thanks.
And there's some other, there's so many cool things. There's so many layers to this guy. I'm and then he's also doing this, and he's doing this. You'll have to listen to the show next week to find out. But there's another cool thing that's coming about from the book that he's doing, or might be coming about in the future, that we talk about, which is really, 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 really cool.
Yeah.
So
he's got
listen
some great
to next
stuff
week's episode
for sure.
Yeah.
Very excited.
So anyway, I feel like we can't talk about it anymore. We're gonna give it all away, but you should watch. Yeah, really want you to listen to it, and definitely watch The Shot tonight. We asked him if there was a way that we can get people to vote for him, or if there was viewer voting involved, and he said no, it's just the judges. So watch for that. But something that he does talk about a lot during the episode is how he has always been a permanent semi-finalist. He's never actually won anything. So we're hoping that tonight's the night. We'll find out. So he'll either take home the label of the crown, or he'll go off with the label of being a semi-finalist again. Yeah. And that's fine. Patrick James Clark, the runner-up.
The runner-up. And sometimes if you've watched American Idol, the runner-up does better than the finalist. Yes. So
it's
all
true.
Good things are coming to that guy. And part of me really wants him to win, because obviously that's the point. But just for his persona and like who he is, I kind of want him to be a runner-up just to keep it consistent, you know?
Yeah, just keep it consistent. It would be a really funny story.
Yeah. But also,
but obviously, Patrick, we're hoping that you win.
I'm rooting for you all the way. 100%.
We're rooting for you.
Yes.
Yeah. So watch The Shot tonight. I don't know what channel it's on. I have no idea how to find it. I think it's on YouTube.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Let's chat with Patrick and figure out how to post on social media. Friends, just go to our Facebook, our Instagram. If we can, we'll post it to TikTok. Anyway, we'll promote it. We'll try and promote that tonight once this is out.
For sure. Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah.
Now, let's move on to our lives, Mary, and kind of what's been going on in the past little bit, because something a little bit unexpected and random started happening to you.
Yeah. So Bridget and I are working and developing the event management side of our business plans, which is Collective Creations. I think we've talked about it a few times here. Event management company, mostly wedding based, but there's an aspect to the business that over time will be revealed online, and I'm sure we'll talk lots about on here. But one aspect is these prepped charcuterie boards. It's a weird skill and love of mine to make really fancy, fun charcuterie boards.
She's very talented at it. It's the most random talent anybody could ever have, but she's really, really good at it. Like, go follow the social media. It's incredible.
I love it so
like, where
much.
do you get these ideas for, like, these pine cones on the plate, and, like, she has, like, garland on it. Like, well, I don't know, like, you dress them up.
I work in food and beverage, and I've catered for years. Like, I was talking to my mom about today, and my mom's like, I don't even think I knew you did that. So I had a job at Algonquin College years ago, and my job was like food and beverage of like catering assistant. Like the bigger aspects of my job were like managing the bar for the shows and inventory and all that jazz. But a lot of the time it was like you're serving large amounts of platters of food to hundreds of people for convocation or a breakfast or whatever college events going on. Or sometimes we'd be doing like, people would order like, I don't know, like coffee and sandwiches and bars for their meetings all day, but it'd be happening all around the college, and we had to deliver all that. So that was part of my job. So I think like it kind of started from there, was my like real experience. And then opening up a restaurant years ago, we had charcuterie boards, and that was like the one thing I could do because I couldn't work in the kitchen food wise. And then just over the years, I've just like kind of built it and played with it, and then I really love charcuterie, so I just like try and make them pretty.
We are.
And I would just slowly make them more and more pretty. And then step one was I was doing a wedding a while back, and the bride had all this like charcuterie stuff, and they had prepped a bunch of it. And they were like, if you can throw this together, that'd be really great. And they literally just had like lines of like cheese and then crackers and then whatever, meat. And I was like, well, it's a little basic and
amateur charcuterie.
Okay. Yeah. And
can I like spice this up a bit?
Well, and that was my thoughts. I was like, oh, I wish I had more time to like play with this, but really hindsight, it was like before the reception or the ceremony. So it's not that big a deal. And then the florist.
And if you know Mary as she's doing her weddings, it's very much so what needs to be done, and then you can go back to handle the little details. So this is something I've learned from working a wedding with her recently, where it's just like, we do everything that has to be done on time. She has a schedule in her brain, and then if there's room to play, you can go and you can play around with the charcuterie board.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So I was like, no. And then which is nice that you've worked with me now to understand how out of character this is for me. So the florist came over and was like, I have a bag full of like leftover flowers from the bouquets. I thought you might want these for the charcuterie boards. And in my head, I'm like, these aren't charcuterie boards. These are just plates with cheese on them. And I was like, well, I'm going to have to start over because she brought me flowers. And so I didn't waste because everything was still on time and they were very happy. But I was just like, yeah, I'm going to spend a half hour and redo all of this. So I like reset everything and then put the flowers on, and the girls came down. They were like, oh my God, what did you do? And I was like, I'm sorry. It's like a weird love of mine. And then, afterwards I was like, it was so unnecessary and like such a minor detail that few people will remember that day. But like, I love doing it. So then I created a board for a friend's bachelorette and then just started talking to people about it. We knew it was going to be an aspect of the business in, a while, but not now. So I put out on Facebook kind of just as like a off the cuff, like, should I do these professionally? And a lot of people said yes. So I was like, oh, fuck it, let's try it. So I started selling them. And then since the day I said I was selling them, I've had an order every weekend. So for Thanksgiving, I was like, well, this seems like something people will want. And I posted about it. I did a $50 ad on Facebook for 3-4 days. Coincidentally, the day Facebook shut down. So I was like, well, there goes that money. What a waste. And then when the internet came back on, it exploded like hundreds. And it's not stopping. I've posted to say I'm sold out. And it's still, like, I spent 3 full days staying up till 1 a.m., getting up at 7 a.m., and just answering these messages. 3 full days of doing that and coordinating. And at first I was like, I'll only take 7 boards. I'll only take 10 boards. I'll only take 15 boards. I stopped at 17. I could technically do more, but I'm not, for my own sanity. And I've never done something at this capacity in my own house. Anyone listening who has a board ordered, trust me, I got you. I've already done some and I've handed them out. People have been very happy. But yeah, I was just like, okay, I need to like manage this. But it's exploded. And now people are ordering for Christmas. People are ordering for Halloween. People are like, it's insane. It's just exploded. So I said to Bridget, I was like, okay, so we might have to adjust some of our business plans because I have to make a shit ton of cheese boards. So I've been up since like 4:45 handling cheese and meat.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite story. Just like Mary-Margaret, charcuterie maker extraordinaire.
But it's working. Some girl like came so today.
Random.
She said, yeah, you know that meme that says, we grew up on Lunchables. Of course we love charcuterie boards. And I was like, I love that.
That should be your slogan. Okay, you got to post that.
Something. Yeah, I got to find it and then I'll post it.
100%. Yeah, find it. I think we should do a challenge. You and me. I'll come to your house at some point.
Okay.
You put me in a room and you go in a room and we're both going to make a charcuterie board. And we're going to see what they look like because I really don't think mine will be good. But then in contrast to yours, it'll be even funnier.
Yes. Okay, we'll do that. That's amazing.
This is
but
what
like
we have to
for
do.
us
yeah,
to eat,
you can't sell mine to anybody.
Maybe
we'll do it for the... Maybe we'll do... Yeah, I was going to say maybe we'll do it for like that special occasion that we have coming up.
Maybe. Oh my God, that would be so funny. Yeah. Like a charcuterie contest.
It'll be a little challenge.
Yeah. But you get everything. It'll be like Top Chef. Like you're given everything. It's not going to be pre-cut. You have to cut that all yourself. Because everything starts in the beginning. And you have a 5-minute time limit. Yes. Yeah. It's so funny because in my mind, I'm like, you just get creative. There's no way to screw it up. And my mom was helping me last night. And she's like, I keep screwing it up. Like she's so stressed out about cutting this cheese. Like, it's fine. It's just cheese. But yeah, it's like a weird... I
love cutting vegetables. I love cutting things.
Well, girl, come on over because I got another 48 hours of it, so...
48 hours of charcuterie. Okay, I want to ask Matt if you, like, permanently smell like charcuterie.
Matt,
and if so, does that turn him on?
Matt, do I permanently smell like charcuterie?
I don't know. I'll is this recording?
Yeah.
Yeah, but come take a whiff.
Come here. Come here. Bartender Matt.
You have to hurry up, Matt.
Hurry up.
We're on time schedule.
No, not yet, but I guess we'll see when I lay down next to your hair.
Yeah, and then Bridget said you have to let her know if it's a turn on. He's going to say definitely not. He already said he's done eating charcuterie for the rest of his life. Just seeing the amount of meat and cheese in the fridge, it's nauseating.
It's unbelievable. My colon hurts just looking at it.
so much cheese.
Oh, it's brilliant. But anyway, Bridget, what's going on in your life?
Honestly, not much. The cat situation is ongoing.
Yeah.
For anybody who...
Oh yeah, can we talk about your cat feeder?
My automatic cat feeder?
Yes.
Absolutely. So Liam, who is my best friend, and he was the first person on the podcast, so some of you might know who he is, had 2 cats. One passed away, unfortunately. So he has this very expensive cat feeder, which essentially you can either attach it to your cat's microchip or you can get a little thing to go on their collar so that when that specific cat goes near that food dish, it then opens for that cat and that cat only. And then when it walks away, it closes. So this is how we're handling the food situation. So the cats don't steal each other's food. So Liam lent it to us. to let us use
brilliant.
that. But it's like this incredible thing. This company also has doors, like cat doors that people doors. That would be funny. No, cat doors that do that as well. So
I
like
want a
if
people
you only
door
have
that
one
only I
outdoor
can go
cat,
through.
yeah, nobody else can come in.
My door.
This is my room. This is my bathroom.
Yeah.
Nobody can come in. It's like, that would be great for parents.
Yeah, with kids. Oh my God, I would have
Yeah.
died for that with my brothers. That would have been
That's
amazing.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been amazing. Yeah. So
Anyway,
this company is like incredible. They saw a problem in the world and they created a product to fix it, which is business 101.
Solution
Start with what's
based.
needed or something like that.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah. So it's great.
Solution-based
But there
products.
is another issue with it, which is that my cat normally has an automatic feeder that feeds her a certain amount at a certain time. So now she doesn't know how to control herself, which I understand. If I was put all of my food for the day right in front of me, I would probably just go
keep
at
eating.
it.
True.
And there'd be none left for later. So it's going to take a little bit of training.
will tell
but,
you.
Things are getting better.
I will tell you with my cat, people may disagree with this, and I'm sorry, but I don't care. When I notice her start to hoard and eat faster, I'll be like, no, I'm not feeding you tomorrow. You ate all your food in one sitting. You're not eating for the next 24 hours.
But does she not annoy you then? Like that's
No,
the
she
like I would
doesn't.
do
That's
that
the
too, but she
difference.
just sits and meows at me.
And I do that because, especially when I first got her before COVID, I would have events where I was gone, not for 24 hours, but I'd leave at 6 a.m. and not be back till midnight. Or if I wanted to go away for a weekend, I wanted to know that the cat knows how to graze. And it just always seemed to work for her. Now we actually have a new system that we have these little mice, which would not work for your situation right now. But they're little mice that we fill every morning and every night, and we hide them around the house. So she has to hunt them. So she goes and hunts for her food.
Oh, cool.
And what we notice is she
That's
doesn't
smart.
finish them all. She has a little bit of
Really?
a bowl of food that she usually doesn't touch. She'll go hunt her mice and she'll eat half of it and then go, and she'll move it around. Sometimes when she's done, she'll knock it on the floor for the dog. Like she's like it's A, she's losing weight, and B, it's made her like more playful and more like she gets so excited
That's
when the
great.
mice are out. Yeah. So when
I should tell. Well, that won't work for my situation. I was gonna say I should tell my roommate because her cat would love that.
Yeah, for a kitten,
But,
especially.
yeah.
Once, like,
But
if...
it wouldn't work.
Yeah, it
because
wouldn't work with the
of
two
my
cats.
cat.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But anyway, this has been the ongoing thing in my life for the past 6 months.
Yeah.
Just trying to get our cats to get along. Which whenever somebody's like, "What's new?" I'm like, "Nothing. The cats."
Yeah, which they do say it
There's
takes a
always
long
progress
time,
with the
right?
cats.
Like, it
Yeah.
takes a long time to get
Yeah,
cats
absolutely.
amalgamated. So, yeah. Is that the right word?
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure if you go and listen to our very first like episode before, like that we didn't even release, like our practice episode, I'm talking about the cats.
Yes.
In every episode.
Yeah.
There's some about the cats.
Yeah. Cats are always there. Maya
yeah.
also, just like Matt, which everyone will learn on the Patrick Clark episode, it's Maya and Matt are the two, like, people
In
of
the
our
background,
podcasts.
Mysterious.
The cat and man behind
Yeah.
the podcast.
That's so true.
They're
the
always
mysterious
there.
people in the bag.
Yeah.
I love it. They're
That's great.
always just there, lurking in the corner. You don't see them, but they're there.
Yeah. Matt's favorite thing to do
Matt's
now
behind
is
me right
he'll start singing our theme song, and he'll go, if you're in your 20s and thinking, "Douche, what the hell am I doing?" Because he just hears it all the time. He loves that pause.
I'm impressed with Matt because he does hear us talk all the time.
And he supports. He's very supportive. And then he'll listen. He's
Yeah.
marathon training, and during his marathon training, he listens to our
Aw.
episodes. Yeah.
No, he does that. That's
Yeah.
so
And I can always tell
nice.
because he'll come
Wow,
back going,
thanks,
"What
Matt."
the hell am I doing?" I know he's listened. Which is great because, like,
I
we
love
worked
that.
hard on that
Matt.
pause. That pause took rehearsal.
We did. That pause took rehearsal. Yes. Shout out to Stephen Ryan for having a great pause in The Song Burns Like Fire.
Yeah, it's
Perfect
fantastic.
pause
Yeah.
to wonder what the hell you're doing.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's wrap this up.
Sounds
We
good.
are go at our time limit.
We
so,
are.
Yes, listen to the episode next week with Patrick James Clark. Patrick James Clark. It's
Patrick
really good. Also
Charisma
watch the
Clark.
shot. There you go. Patrick Charisma Clark.
Thank you.
Watch The Shot tonight. He's on the finale. Root for him, but also know that if he's the runner-up, it's gonna make a great story.
Yeah.
No. But root for Patrick. We want him to win. We're so excited. He needs his Meryl Streep moment. He deserves it. So, yeah, we'll post on our socials how to watch that. And while you're looking at our socials to figure out how to watch it, make sure to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Yeah. And when you're listening to this episode, make sure to subscribe. Also, now it is follow us on Spotify, Apple, wherever you're listening.
Yeah, don't be confused.
Really helps us grow.
It's now follow, not subscribe. Yeah.
Yes, it's now follow everywhere. So, it really helps us grow, and it makes us feel good. So,
yeah,
just do it.
Just do it, okay? Follow us, please.
See you next week. Bye.